Welcome to HealthTech Hustle. We exist to share stories of the brave entrepreneurs helping to solve the most important problems in digital health today. We interview top leaders in health tech and bring them onto our show each week to listen and learn from their story. With your host, Rodney Hu, founder of 209Digital.
Hello, and welcome to the HealthTech Hustle Podcast. My name is Rodney Hu, and I'm the host. I'm also the founder of 209Digital. And the format of this podcast, of this specific episode, will be a little bit different because I am the only one here. When I actually start having guests on, I'll bring on industry experts and allow them to share their story. And so what I really wanted to do with this episode is really to just give you a background of who I am and why I actually started this podcast and some problems that I see in the digital health and health tech space myself, and my goal of the podcast and what you can expect as a listener, what you can learn, and the types of guests that I'll have on. So to get started, a little bit about me is I started my career in healthcare as an MRI technologist. So I was working in the radiology department of imaging centers and hospitals. And over the last couple of years, I've been traveling around as a travel MRI tech. So I've been able to work in states all across the country, from the West Coast to the Midwest to the East Coast, and really just being able to talk and communicate with not only industry professionals, but patients and other workers in the industry. And something about me is back in 2018, November 2018 to be exact, I was actually diagnosed with an eye condition known as retinitis pigmentosa, which is a degenerative eye disease. And according to the doctors, they told me that one, there was no way to prevent it because it's hereditary, and two, that there's no cure for this. And so for me, that was kind of a setback, and it kind of bugged me for a while. But in that process of being diagnosed, I seen a lot of other industry professionals. And as an MRI tech, I'm used to being in healthcare, but also dealing with the technology side of things. So healthcare and technology, working on computers and the different softwares. And I see the benefits and the advantages that new advancements in technology can have in healthcare and how they can play a direct impact on the lives of our patients. For example, when somebody comes in to get an MRI, we're able to take pictures and gather data on the insides of these people's bodies without having to do surgery. And we can gather very valuable data and insights on our patients in a non-invasive way. And that's all due to the advancements of technology. And I've always been on the industry professional side when dealing with health tech. And when I was before I was diagnosed with this condition, I was going through that process as a patient. And so I was seeing many different specialists, like an optometrist. The optometrist referred me over to an ophthalmologist, who then referred me over to a retinal specialist, who then sent me over to get tests by an eye tech. I don't know the name of their position, but they're the one who actually ran all the tests on my eyes. And at each stage of the process, I was encountering different types of softwares, different kinds of technologies, just for my specific area of the body, my eyes. And so there's all these different technologies that are out there in the world that people have no idea about. And so I was just taking all these tests, and really, one, I was nervous because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to expect. All I knew was, hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is what's bothering me. Communicate that over to the doctor, and they sent me on my way, doing all these tests and whatnot. And it was very interesting to me because my perspective as an MRI tech, I kind of take for granted technology that is available to us. But after going through that journey and going through that process and seeing all the very helpful industry specialists who are able to perform these exams and performs these tests on me, which allowed them to gather the necessary data for the doctors to interpret and communicate to my doctor, who then communicated that to me. And really just being on the patient side really humbled me. And it was a very humbling experience on my end. And I'm very thankful for that. And so one thing that I want to accomplish with this podcast is really just connect with people in the health tech space and see what they're doing, see what sort of problems that they're solving within healthcare, because healthcare is a very stable industry. There's always going to be It's always going to be stable. People are always going to be getting sick and needing medical attention. But then when you combine that with technology, and technology is always advancing, being able to tap into a market that's very stable plus always advancing is very, very valuable. But one thing that I've seen in healthcare is that for some reason, healthcare is slow to adopt technology. And so this is why I want to be able to find other companies within health tech and create a platform to bring on these industry specialists to go ahead and allow them to share their knowledge, share their wisdom, share their experience of what they're doing in digital health and health tech today. And so I just want to be able to create valuable content for the listeners who are listening, but for the guests who come on, give them the opportunity to share their thought leadership. And also on my end, I have experience in healthcare and technology, but I'm not the number one expert. So for me, this is really a learning opportunity for me as well. And I just want to create that community and give people the opportunity to learn from other people as well. So whether you are a business owner looking to start your own health tech company, or whether you're a practicing physician or provider, or whether you're just the industry specialist, a healthcare professional who has an interest, or whether you're just a patient who wants to know what options are out there for your condition and what you can do to go about that, this is where you can come from. And if you're an entrepreneur who wants to learn how to grow a business from the ground up, learn from other people who have done it, learn what they're doing, what teams and systems that they've been able to put into place. And so I just want to create this sort of platform. And I'm going to be having people on from, like I said, all walks of the industry. I may even have some people who aren't in the industry, but know how to grow a business. Whether you're in the IT side and you have that technical experience, but you see a problem in healthcare and you want to transition, how can you bridge that gap between technology and healthcare? Or if you're a healthcare professional and you see a problem, but you don't necessarily have the IT experience and you want to bridge the gap in that direction from healthcare to technology, my goal is to be able to bring on guests who can provide value and insight into the proper steps and the proper growth tactics and strategies that they've used to go and grow their business. And so that is kind of what I'm looking to accomplish with the HealthTech Hustle Podcast. And I just want to thank everybody in advance for being a part of this community and joining us on this journey and being a part of this platform and allowing people to share their knowledge, share their expertise, share their wisdom and their experience in digital health and health tech. And let's work together to spread that message to as many people as we can, because there are a lot of amazing people out there who are creating amazing technologies, who are trying to create a better environment for healthcare, whether it's provider to provider or provider to consumer. There are people out there who are working to make this environment a better place. And it is my job to go out there and find those people and give them an opportunity to share what they're doing, so that they can not only share what they're doing with their network, but share what they're doing and how they're helping this industry with the whole world. And so with that said, thanks for listening to this first episode. I know this is a short one and it's just me, but these next up and coming episodes that I will be launching will include many different kinds of guests. And this is just episode 1 of many. So once again, I thank you guys. And I hope you guys learn a lot and get a lot of valuable information from this podcast. Catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of HealthTech Hustle with Rodney Hu, founder of 209Digital. Tune in next week for another interview with an expert leader in digital health.